Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested. Commotion at his residence. Is he being taken out to the ED headquarters? Clearly a cavalcade now moving out of the Chief Minister's residence. This is gate 3 of the Chief Minister's residence, and you can see a string of cars of the Enforcement Directorate moving out. Arvind Kejriwal taken to the Enforcement Directorate. Shreya Chatterjee joining me live. Shreya, take us through what you see. Is Arvind Kejriwal being taken now to the ED headquarters?
That the team of the Enforcement Directorate with heavy security by the Delhi police taken out of the Delhi CM residence. They will directly be heading to the headquarters right now, where the medical of Arvind Kejriwal will be conducted. The breaking right now is, Preeti, after the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, he's been taken out from his residence to the headquarters of the Enforcement Directorate. Amidst that, you see the protesters still outside the residence of Arvind Kejriwal. But formally, the Arvind Kejriwal has now been taken out of his residence to the ED headquarters.
All right, Arvind Kejriwal taken to the ED headquarters. That would mean, Shreya, that all searches at his residence have concluded. The medical will take place at the Enforcement Directorate headquarters. Tonight, he will spend there. Tomorrow, he should be produced in front of a PMLA court.
Well, absolutely, Preeti. That's the procedure from now. What we are being told, there are multiple electronic devices that include mobile phones, tablets that have been seized, some documents that have been recovered. These will be produced as evidence by the Enforcement Directorate if they pertain to their investigation. But these are the seizures made by the Enforcement Directorate. Apart from that, we know that today there will be a medical also that will be conducted of Arvind Kejriwal at the Enforcement Directorate headquarters itself. And subsequently, tomorrow he will be produced in the Rouse Avenue court. Whether that production will be happening in physical or video conferencing is something we'll have to wait for. But now he will be spending the night at the ED headquarters before he's produced in the court tomorrow.
There's a parallel track which is going on right now. Shreya Chatterjee joining us outside the residence of the Chief Minister just about 10 seconds ago. That cavalcade has pulled out with Arvind Kejriwal in it. He's been escorted now to the ED headquarters. The parallel track that I was talking of, Shreya, is the Aam Aadmi Party approaching the top court in the middle of the night, asking and challenging the ED arrest. Is that being entertained? What are you picking up from your sources?
Well, at 11:40, we are being told that probably there will be a hearing tonight. That is what the Aam Aadmi Party sources are suggesting, but we'll have to still wait and confirm for the time. The Aam Aadmi Party had gone to the Supreme Court asking for an urgent hearing against the ED action. We'll have to wait for some time, but this is the Aam Aadmi Party sources that are suggesting that probably that has been allowed. But as I talk, Preeti, look at the visuals outside. Even after Arvind Kejriwal taken out of his residence, protests continue over here. Aam Aadmi Party supporters in large numbers, and Delhi police still cordoning off the entire region, not allowing any particular movement, neither vehicular movement being allowed. The cavalcade was taken after the Delhi police team conducted an entire route that is safe for the Delhi Chief Minister's.
Lots of twists and turns, Shreya. The reason I'm coming in is, and that's the news that we are breaking, 11:45 p.m. in all probability, it seems, is going to be the hearing of the Aam Aadmi Party petition. So it does seem that the top court has entertained the petition of the Aam Aadmi Party. We're going to get more information on it. But Shreya Chatterjee there joining us with the very latest on Arvind Kejriwal being escorted out and taken to the Enforcement Directorate headquarters. We're also going to be joined by Aishwarya, my colleague, who's joining us 14 kilometers apart, viewers. Enforcement Directorate headquarters, the residence of the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in civil lines, 14 kilometers apart. And lots of heavy barricading already in play where this entire stretch is concerned. A clarion call had been made by the Aam Aadmi Party top leadership that all the cadres come and try and reach either the Chief Minister's residence or the Enforcement Directorate office. So it's Section 144 in both areas, be it the civil line area where the Chief Minister's residence is, the north of Delhi, or 14 kilometers apart, central Delhi, where the Enforcement Directorate office is. Shreya, who's joining us in front of the CM's residence, cutting across to Aishwarya Paliwal, joining us all the way at the ED headquarters. Aishwarya, any moment now, we should see the cavalcade of the Enforcement Directorate pull in with the Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, arrested a short while ago.
Well, Preeti, let me tell you, the distance is roughly 14 kilometers from the place where I'm standing, which is the office of the Enforcement Directorate. A lot of movement now, the barricades that one can very clearly see, these are the barricades that have been put up because they are expecting that there will be obviously Enforcement Directorate officials who will be accompanying Arvind Kejriwal, but they're also expecting, given the history of Aam Aadmi Party, that there is a possibility that they might also see some of the supporters turning up to show their support to Arvind Kejriwal. The police personnel, Preeti, that you see here, all of them, because this is the place which is roughly 100 meters away. The Enforcement Directorate office inside this very lane, section 144, Preeti, has been imposed in this entire region, which means that the civilians have been asked to stay away from this area. We are expecting Arvind Kejriwal, along with all the ED officials, to be present in the vehicle at this very spot in about 10 minutes or 12 minutes from now, Preeti.
All right, another 10 minutes, you would see that cavalcade pull in. So two pictures there, one where Shreya is standing, and that is at just about 2 minutes ago that you've seen the cavalcade of Arvind Kejriwal pull in, and where Aishwarya is, where you will see the cavalcade enter. Section 144, viewers, for those who are unfamiliar, prohibits the gathering of 4 people or more. And this is because there is a clear call by the Aam Aadmi Party cadre to come and gather in both places, which is either the CM's residence where he was kept till now, and now the action will shift to the ED headquarter. And Aishwarya, to pull you in, have you seen, because this entire area has been barricaded, 14 kilometers, it's going to be a clearly, a green passage given to the cavalcade. Have you seen the cadre of the Aam Aadmi Party now try and reach the ED headquarters? Because we'd seen multiple attempts being made where the CM's residence was.
Well, let me tell you one of the things, Preeti, where the Enforcement Directorate office is, Khan Market, one of the Tony markets of the national capital, barely 1 kilometer away from this very spot. So the entire stretch has now been cornered off from one side of the lane to the other side. And in fact, area near Khan Market also, we did see how there was a lot of barricades and very heavy police deployment. So the idea is to make sure that none of the supporters of Aam Aadmi Party are actually able to reach the Enforcement Directorate. Once again, showing you the kind of barricades, the police personnel, and also, we are seeing how the patrolling of this entire region is now taking place, Preeti, on this VVIP road. Cars, Delhi police vehicles have been patrolling for over past 1 hour now, and we are expecting that this is the route. Though there is another route, the alternative route also, but from what we understand at the moment, this is the route that they will be taking Arvind Kejriwal in. Most of the VVIPs, if you remember, it was Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, who in fact when they were called by the Enforcement Directorate, this was the route that they used to take. The barricades have now been put in place, and we are also expecting the security personnel to increase, the number of security personnel to increase over time in another 10 minutes or so, because there will be a green passage which will be made for Arvind Kejriwal, and we are expecting him, Preeti, from what we understand.
Okay, so anytime now at the Enforcement Directorate, we've got a camera position there with Aishwarya, vantage point. We're going to get you more. Okay, reactions coming in, dipping in.
मुख्यमंत्री जी को ले जाया गया, सीधी मंशा ईडी की मुख्यमंत्री जी को अरेस्ट करने की ही थी। कोई पूछताछ नहीं थी, कोई प्रश्न नहीं था, सब कोर्ट के अंदर नाटक किया जा रहा था। मुख्यमंत्री जी के घर की पूरी तलाशी इस छापे में ली गई। सिर्फ 70,000 रुपए नकद मिले, जो कि ईडी वापस लौटा के चली गई। मुख्यमंत्री जी का मोबाइल लिया गया और मुख्यमंत्री जी को गिरफ्तार करके ले गए हैं। पूरे छापे में कोई सबूत, कोई एविडेंस, कोई प्रॉपर्टी का कागज, कोई गैर कानूनी पैसा, कोई मनी ट्रेल नहीं मिली। बात बिल्कुल साफ है, अगर अपोजिशन के अंदर प्रधानमंत्री जी किसी से डरते हैं और उनको लगता है कि उनका कोई विकल्प है भारत में तो वो अरविंद केजरीवाल है। और मैं दोबारा यही बात कहूंगा कि वो अरविंद केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार कर सकते थे, उन्होंने किया क्योंकि आज उनके पास सत्ता है, आज उनके पास सारी की सारी एजेंसियां हैं, उनको रोकने वाला कोई नहीं है। जो चाहे प्रधानमंत्री करें। अभी तक 2 मुख्यमंत्रियों को गिरफ्तार किया है, हो सकता है औरों को भी कर लें। मगर अरविंद केजरीवाल की सोच, अरविंद केजरीवाल एक आइडिया है जो हर गली हर मोहल्ले में अब तैयार हो रहा है। हमारे वकील शाम को सुप्रीम कोर्ट की रजिस्ट्री में उन्होंने अपनी पिटीशन दायर की, इस अरेस्ट को चैलेंज किया कि ये गैर कानूनी है, गैर संवैधानिक है। कोर्ट की रजिस्ट्री ने कहा कि उन्होंने सुप्रीम कोर्ट के मुख्य न्यायाधीश को ये मैसेज दे दिया है, मगर कोई जवाब नहीं मिला। तो हमारे वकील सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रजिस्ट्रार साहब से मिलने गए हैं, उनसे बातचीत करेंगे और हमारा सुप्रीम कोर्ट से करबद्ध निवेदन है, हाथ जोड़ के निवेदन है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट रात को ही मुख्यमंत्री जी की जो याचिका हमने दायर की है उसको सुने और दिल्ली को, देश को और हमें न्याय दें।
आगे सरकार कैसे चलेगी, क्योंकि अब इन्फेक्चुअस हो चुकी है जो आपकी याचिका है, जो गिरफ्तारी हो चुकी है।
2 पिटीशन थे, ये गलत खबर चलाई जा रही है कि इन्फेक्चुअस हो गई है, नहीं। हमारी 2 अलग अलग प्रेयर थी कि मुख्यमंत्री जी की गिरफ्तारी इमिनेंट है, होने वाली है, लिहाजा उसको रोका जाए और यदि इस दौरान गिरफ्तारी हो जाती है तो उस गिरफ्तारी के ऊपर भी कोर्ट रोक लगाए, तो वो इन्फेक्चुअस नहीं है। दूसरी बात, सरकार, हम लोगों ने सारे विधायकों से सलाह की, सारे काउंसलर से सलाह की, दिल्ली के एक एक वार्ड के अंदर हमने सभा की। सबका कहना था कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी का मैंडेट है, दिल्ली की जनता चाहती है अरविंद केजरीवाल सरकार चलाएं, तो अरविंद केजरीवाल ही सरकार चलाएंगे। जेल के अंदर से भी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी हमारे मुख्यमंत्री हैं, दिल्ली के नेता हैं।
कानूनन मुमकिन है ऐसा, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से अलाउ है सर?
के काफी नियम है जिसमें ये पॉसिबल है।
मीटिंग कैसे करेंगे आप, कैबिनेट कैसे करेंगे?
सब कैसे कर पाएंगे आप लोग?
All right, viewers, let me take you through the sequence of events. Arvind Kejriwal will spend the night in the ED headquarters. He will be produced before the PMLA court at Rouse Avenue tomorrow, and his medical will be done tomorrow. So that's the latest that we are getting in. We'll spend the night at the ED headquarters. And of the petition where the top court of the country is concerned, indications coming in that it will not be entertained tonight. At least indication seems to suggest they are waiting and awaiting a word on that, and the petition in all probability will be heard tomorrow on Friday itself, viewers. But the latest that is coming in right now is you see Arvind Kejriwal being taken away by the Enforcement Directorate from his residence at Civil Lines. He's going to be taken to Central Delhi ED headquarters. He's going to stay put the night there. In the morning or the afternoon, he will be produced after a medical checkup at the Rouse Avenue PMLA court, and then depending on the custody he's granted, things will go ahead. Having said that, the petition in all probability, word coming in, will only be heard tomorrow where the top court is concerned, and we might not see a midnight hearing. I want to cut across to our reporters again. Akshita continues to be. All right, let's once again dip into Saurabh Bhardwaj. He's still speaking, and we'll cut across to our band of reporters.
भोपाल हूँ, सब तरीके के लोगों ने जो विपक्ष की आवाज हैं, उन्होंने अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की इस गिरफ्तारी पे गुस्सा जताया है, और वो सब लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि केंद्र सरकार तानाशाही पे उतर आई है और अपने हार के डर से, आम चुनाव में केंद्र सरकार हार के डर से विपक्षी नेताओं को गिरफ्तार कर रही है।
जो स्टार कैंपेनर्स हैं, अभी
सब अंदर है,
सब अंदर हैं।
चुनाव कैसे मैनेज
करेंगे, चुनाव कैसे लड़ेंगे आप?
कैसे मैनेज करेंगे?
मैंने कल भी कहा था, हमारे नंबर 2 के नेता, नंबर 3 के नेता, नंबर 4 के नेता जेल में हैं, नंबर 1 के नेता को जेल में डालने की तैयारी है। अब हमारे 4 टॉप लीडर्स को जेल में डाला गया है। जिस पार्टी को अमित शाह जी कहते हैं सुपारी जितनी छोटी पार्टी है, उस सुपारी जैसी पार्टी से आज इतना खतरा है कि उसके 4 शीर्ष नेता आज केंद्र सरकार ने जेल में डाले हुए हैं। इससे ये बात पूरे हिंदुस्तान को साफ होती है कि क्या इस वक्त देश के अंदर हो रहा है। और मैं एक और चेतावनी पूरे देश के लोगों को बताना चाहता हूं। अभी अभी रशिया के अंदर पुतिन चुनाव से जीते हैं। 87% चुनाव पुतिन को मिला है, 87% वोट। और वो इसलिए मिला है क्योंकि जितना विपक्ष है पुतिन साहब ने सबको जेल में डाल दिया, और जो सबसे बड़े विपक्षी नेता थे उनकी जेल में मृत्यु हो गई। तो आने वाले समय में हिंदुस्तान में भी यही होने वाला है। सब विपक्ष को जब जेल में ही डाल देंगे तो प्रधानमंत्री जी खुद ही चुनाव लड़ेंगे, और फिर अभी तक तो 38% वोट आया है, तो प्रधानमंत्री जी भी 90% वोट ले लेंगे।
कल कैसे प्रोटेस्ट रजिस्टर करेंगे आप?
वो देखेंगे, सोचेंगे।
All right, latest bit of news clearing up for our viewers right now is there will be no midnight hearing. The Supreme Court will only hear the petition of the Aam Aadmi Party tomorrow. So no late night hearing. The Aam Aadmi Party was hoping that them challenging the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal by the Enforcement Directorate, that petition would be heard through the course of the night. That's not happening. The court not showing urgency enough in that case where they don't think it's important enough. But there's been precedence, viewers. There has been precedence in the case of Hemant Soren, where when he had approached charging that the arrest was illegal by the Enforcement Directorate, that petition was rejected by the top court. But having said that, Arvind Kejriwal's petition with the top court now will only be heard tomorrow. But having said that, I want to quickly cut across to our band of reporters. Joining me, Amit Bhardwaj, tracking the cavalcade of the Chief Minister. Akshita joining us right outside the Chief Minister's residence. Aishwarya Paliwal, our camera's vantage position as the cavalcade of Arvind Kejriwal will pull in at the Enforcement Directorate's office, and Shreya Chatterjee getting us all the latest of her sources where the ED is concerned. Amit Bhardwaj, where exactly are you now? Section 144 is in place. All, barricading, security, 3-tier security, where the entire route is concerned, because there were apprehensions that Aam Aadmi Party cadre might try and disrupt, the ED taking the CM to the ED headquarters.
Preeti, the entire route was actually cordoned off completely by the Delhi police. We had seen the kind of sanitization that was being done because, all the wait that was happening inside the Chief Minister's residence by the ED officials was as to whether the Supreme Court is taking up the matter today in the night itself, or whether this will be listed for tomorrow morning. And the moment it became clear that the matter is being taken for tomorrow morning, that is when the carcade of Arvind Kejriwal started moving. The ED officials started taking him away from the civil lines from 6 Flagstaff Marg to the ED office. What we are given to understand that Arvind Kejriwal is being taken by the Enforcement Directorate from Rajpura Road through ISBT to the ED office. So that entire stretch has been completely sanitized, completely cordoned off. And we have seen this kind of traffic movement even at the time of, when Manish Sisodia was apparently moving from Rajghat to the CBI headquarters. At that point in time as well, the security was placed in a way that there is no disruption to the final leg of movement. But today, even higher arrangements have been made because Arvind Kejriwal is not only the Chief Minister of the national capital, but he also happens to be the party chief. So there were high possibilities of, unorganized or random protest at different places in the national capital, and that is why the entire route was secured by Delhi police and the para forces for smooth movement of the Enforcement Directorate officials who are taking Arvind Kejriwal right now as we speak to the ED office. But Preeti, this happens to be the biggest shock, biggest jolt to the Aam Aadmi Party ever since its inception. You and I would remember as to
stay
how...
with me. There is no denying that this is a huge jolt for the Aam Aadmi Party. They really won't know how to recalibrate from here. Leader number 2, leader number 3, both in jail, and now Arvind Kejriwal also in jail. Connecting to Nalini Sharma, my colleague, who's been tracking the developments for the urgent hearing, which the Aam Aadmi Party had sought with the top court. And Nalini, the top court not entertaining the Aam Aadmi Party plea tonight. Give us more.
Well, yes, Preeti, we're given to understand that there will be no special bench that will be constituted for an urgent hearing tonight itself. on Arvind Kejriwal's plea. What we are awaiting is to hear as to whether or not the hearing will happen before the Supreme Court tomorrow. The matter is yet to be listed in the official court list of the Supreme Court, which is why we are not saying that with certainty, but we are given to understand from our sources that the matter is expected to be taken up by the Supreme Court only tomorrow, and that no urgent hearing will be conducted tonight. Now that, of course, is a small setback to Arvind Kejriwal, because tomorrow he is also expected to be produced before the Rouse Avenue Court, and in case that hearing happens before the Supreme Court can take up the matter, and Arvind Kejriwal is sent to police custody or judicial custody as the court decides, then it might be an uphill battle for him to try and get some relief from the Supreme Court. So it's going to be fast-paced developments even in the morning tomorrow, with the legal team approaching the Supreme Court, going to try and get the matter listed, along with the same time strategizing for what we have to argue against Arvind Kejriwal's custody before the Rouse Avenue Court when he's produced tomorrow.
All right. Appreciate you joining us, Nalini, with the latest. So, no urgent hearing tonight. Now that whether it will be heard tomorrow, we'll know soon, but nothing where the urgent hearing for the Aam Aadmi Party petition challenging the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal tonight. That would mean little option, but Arvind Kejriwal for tonight will spend the night at the ED headquarters, and this is his cavalcade pulling in. Aishwarya is joining us from there. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Well, Preeti, we are just showing you visuals of the cavalcade that just went inside the vehicle. That is going inside was the vehicle in which Arvind Kejriwal has now reached the Enforcement Directorate office. Preeti, let me tell you, this will be a very difficult night, not just for Arvind Kejriwal, his family, but obviously for the top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party and for the party as a whole. From what we understand, the night will be spent inside the Enforcement Directorate office. The entire green zone that was being made sure that from his house, which is roughly 14 kilometers away, Arvind Kejriwal, within a span of close to 15 minutes, has reached the Enforcement Directorate office. Preeti.
All right, those visuals there of the cavalcade pulling in. Arvind Kejriwal was wearing a white shirt where he was escorted out. Those visuals are from his residence where he was taken in to that cavalcade of cars that you see. He was escorted out. We're going to get you that visual in a short while from now. Akshita joining us outside the Chief Minister's residence. Akshita, have the crowds thinned outside the CM's residence? The top leaders now of what is left of the Aam Aadmi Party, Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj, have they left?
The crowds have swelled, in fact, Preeti. It looks like they're going to be seated here all night. I'll just take you straight across to show you. We'll get past the security and show you how there are scores of AAP supporters, AAP leaders right now who are staging a sit-in protest, expressing their anger, opposition to their leader's arrest, as Arvind Kejriwal has just been taken into the ED headquarters there. Here outside his residence, these AAP leaders have vowed that they will continue to camp here. So they're saying that they're going to be seated on the road through the night, essentially, and through the course of tomorrow to protest against the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. Atishi is there. She's leading this protest, essentially asking all of them to chant along. So the AAP leaders right now making it clear that they're going to continue to up the ante. There are also a lot of calls for protest tomorrow as well, Preeti, across the national capital, and even now you can hear these slogans, and there are a lot of Congress leaders also who are present alongside the Aam Aadmi Party. They've come to express their solidarity, extend a hand of support to the Aam Aadmi Party during this time. And to all of the leaders that I've spoken to, including Atishi, when asked that clear question about what happens now to the Aam Aadmi Party with Arvind Kejriwal behind bars, it's a template answer that's coming where they're all saying that Kejriwal was, is and will remain the Delhi Chief Minister and the Supreme Leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. They're saying even if he's put behind bars, even if, he stays in jail, he will remain the Chief Minister. He will administer Delhi from behind bars. So that's the strategy right now, at least. You can hear all the chanting behind me as the Aam Aadmi Party leaders will be staying here, sitting on the road outside the Chief Minister's residence through the night, staging a peaceful protest, as they say.
We're going to come right back, Akshita. We were unable to show those visuals primarily because we're tracking the cavalcade, and you can see Arvind Kejriwal being taken in, that quick shot there, wearing a white shirt, sitting by the window. Shreya Chatterjee, pulling you in on, word coming in from the ED. Tonight, it's ED headquarters where Arvind Kejriwal spends the night. The medical happens tomorrow morning. He gets produced in the afternoon at the PMLA court. Shreya, are you with us? All right, okay, we seem to have lost Shreya Chatterjee. We're going to come right back to her. But right now, on the left-hand side, that's the cavalcade pulling in. Where the ED office is concerned, you can clearly see the Delhi Chief Minister sitting. And on the right-hand side was him, visuals of Arvind Kejriwal being taken in to the car of the Enforcement Directorate and escorted out. Akshita and Aishwarya both continue to be with us. Amit Bhardwaj also reaching the ED headquarters. Amit, what's the plan of action where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned? The stakeout in front of the CM residence seeming to continue through the course of the night. You have the cadre now that has squatted right there, sloganeering, chanting at play. Atishi sitting in midst of the cadre. Clearly, this has been a plan ever since to roll out if the CM gets arrested. But other than the protest, which we will see through the course of tomorrow, what can we expect in terms of strategizing of the Aam Aadmi Party? All right, we do not have Amit Bhardwaj with us, but the visuals coming in of Arvind Kejriwal being taken in. Akshita and Aishwarya still continue to be with us. Akshita coming, Aishwarya, has he been taken inside? Did the Aam Aadmi Party cadre try to get in because of what we know, Section 144, strict security, 3-layer security, where that road you're standing on is concerned?
Well, let me tell you, Preeti, it is way easier for the supporters to actually reach his house than to reach this VVIP zone because the Enforcement Directorate office is in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi, barely 1 kilometer away from Khan Market, and all the lanes, reaching to the Enforcement Directorate office have now been cornered off. The barricade that you see around me, these kind of barricades, along with, the regular patrolling that is now taking place of the entire area has made it very, very difficult for the supporters of Aam Aadmi Party to actually reach the spot. The buses now also, we are seeing buses filled with Delhi police personnel also patrolling. The number of Delhi police personnel present in all the lanes, Preeti, has drastically increased. So no supporters here at the Enforcement Directorate office. But yes, Arvind Kejriwal all set to spend this night inside the Enforcement Directorate office.
Well, this night, and if he's like he has been arrested, and if you go by the precedent of his other party leaders, it's not just possibly this night. It seems to be going to be a long haul where Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. Of course, his hearing with the Supreme Court in all probability will happen tomorrow. But where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, should not be much hopeful because, it's a PMLA case. You saw what went down with Hemant Soren when he approached the top court. I want to connect back to Amit Bhardwaj and then we'll go across to Akshita. Amit, what's the plan of action where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned? Protest planned tomorrow, but in terms of strategy, what can we expect?
Preeti, three-way strategy. Number one, the protest will begin from tomorrow morning itself. Not that it is not happening right now, but these are spontaneous protests which has erupted in the national capital right now. But tomorrow in the morning, you will see, what Aam Aadmi Party is planning is huge protests in the national capital. But the sea of protesters could be seen actually in Punjab, Chandigarh, and maybe also in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, where Aam Aadmi Party has its own, very strong presence, especially in the state of Punjab and Chandigarh. Along with that, the Aam Aadmi Party has also planned a sustained long protest in the entire episode because they were waiting for this arrest. They knew that this is going to happen. This is eventuality in the excise policy case because number 2 and number 3 of the party were already arrested. So a well-strategized plan is already out there. They have already galvanized their workers. So all that will start unfolding from tomorrow morning. As far as the government in the national capital is concerned, we have spoken to top leaders of the party. They have confirmed time and again that Arvind Kejriwal is going to be the Chief Minister of Delhi. He is going to continue to be the Chief Minister of Delhi, and the government of Delhi will run from Tihar jail. Number 3 is what happens to the campaign. Punjab campaign has been weaved in a way that Bhagwant Mann is the face of Aam Aadmi Party's Punjab campaign. In Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal is the face of the campaign. In Gujarat, the local factors has been made the front of the Aam Aadmi Party's campaign in Gujarat. So that strategy was already carved out. we have been told by a very senior leader of the party that Arvind Kejriwal's mask will be distributed to the party workers. They will be reaching out to every household in the national capital and wherever the Aam Aadmi Party is contesting elections. And with Arvind Kejriwal mask, they will seek vote. The idea is to convert this into an emotive issue, emotional issue. And in fact, Preeti, the line taken by Sandeep Pathak, the organizational general secretary of the party, is what the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping for right now, that this step, the BJP, they are saying that the BJP might have hoped that this would help them in the elections, but this might just, the tables might just turn, and the emotional card of Aam Aadmi Party might just work out amongst the voters of the national capital and all across, and possibly also in favor of the India bloc. So there is a three-pronged approach, a strategy which has been already drawn by the Aam Aadmi Party in this particular case, and that will start seeing its execution from tomorrow morning. We have reached the ED office right now. We'll try to reach closer to
across right now, Amit. Okay, Amit giving out the strategy of the Aam Aadmi Party. We're going to cut across back to Aishwarya, but I want to go to Akshita now. Akshita is outside the Chief Minister's residence, and what we saw, the political drama, the Aam Aadmi Party coming in together with their top leadership, cadre, well, that's not abating at all. Akshita, with what you told us, can you get us the latest visuals from there?
Right, Preeti, I'll just quickly pan and show you what's happening here. You see a huge number of AAP supporters who still gathered outside the Chief Minister's residence. And this gives you essentially a sense of what's going to play out tomorrow. Amit was giving you details of how the Aam Aadmi Party is planning a sustained campaign tomorrow in support of Arvind Kejriwal. And even now, after Arvind Kejriwal has been taken into the Enforcement Directorate headquarters inside the ED office, there are still scores of AAP supporters here who remain gathered, who are continuing to chant slogans in support of Arvind Kejriwal and opposing the step that's been taken by the Enforcement Directorate, calling it all politically motivated. There are many men and women, all AAP supporters, and interestingly, several Congress leaders also who are here right now. All of them sending across a message that they believe that the action that's been taken against Arvind Kejriwal is timed to the elections. And what we're hearing is that these particular leaders, these supporters, are going to be here all night round. And while Arvind Kejriwal is in the ED headquarters right now, he's not at his residence, which remains completely barricaded. There's huge security presence here. You know, just 1 hour ago, for every AAP leader who was gathering here, they were quickly being detained because of the movement of the convoy and the fear that there could be a breakdown of law and order. Right now, officials are allowing these AAP supporters to gather, but doesn't look like there's any sort of problem because it's a completely peaceful protest, and we're hearing that they want to stay here all night to send out a message to also Arvind Kejriwal's family that they stand with him. So these are the images that we're getting to you outside Kejriwal's house, expected to stay like this through the night, and come tomorrow these crowds are only going to swell in numbers, Preeti.
All right, the crowds not dispersing but only increasing with what Akshita is telling us. Akshita, where are the top leaders of what is left of the Aam Aadmi Party? Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj, are they inside the Chief Minister's residence now, or are they still outside?
They're still here, Preeti. I'm going to try and get to them because there's a huge crowd. I'm unable to really reach them, but hopefully you can see them on my cameras. Atishi's right here. She's been standing with the cadre, kind of also chanting slogans with them, protesting against the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. I spoke to her moments ago, and she said very clearly, considering also that I was hearing your discussion with Rajdeep, where there were a lot of questions about, what happens next in Delhi. Is Atishi going to be taking charge, considering that she has the maximum portfolios? She very clearly says no. She says Arvind Kejriwal will continue to be the boss, continue to be the chief minister. There's no question of him stepping down, because she says that it's a pattern that we've seen with opposition parties where they push the leader to resign. So she's saying the Aam Aadmi Party won't give in like that. So you can see Atishi here in our frames moving out as we speak right now from this location. But she was seen there talking to the AAP cadre, telling them to continue their protest, to keep up their spirit, to ensure that their voices voices are heard. So the Delhi minister, they're just leaving. Is Atishi going to be calling the shots now in the interim while Arvind Kejriwal fights out this legal battle? It's anyone's guess. But on camera, they're all sticking to the template answer, saying Arvind Kejriwal was, is and will be the Delhi chief minister. I can tell you that considering she's been here for the last few hours, she's been very, very busy with her phone, taking all the calls, taking all the decisions essentially legally as well on what should be the next step. She was here to welcome the Congress delegation the moment they touched down. So in the looks of it, at least, when you look at it, at how things were playing out here, it definitely looked like Atishi was the one calling the shots for the Aam Aadmi Party with all that's been playing out with Arvind Kejriwal. But like I said, on camera, they maintain Kejriwal will remain the boss.
Well, you're right there. What we also know is Gopal Rai's residence is going to turn into a de facto headquarter to organize protests and strategy. Listen in. Gopal Rai right now speaking.
मुख्यमंत्री को जिस तरह से गिरफ्तार करवाया है, कोर्ट में अदालत में मामला विचाराधीन है, ये इस देश में आपातकाल की घोषणा हुई है, लोकतंत्र की हत्या हुई है। इस लड़ाई की शुरुआत उन्होंने की है। इस लड़ाई को देश की जनता लड़ेगी, दिल्ली के लोग लड़ेंगे और इस लड़ाई को जीतेंगे। अभी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को लेके गए हैं। अभी पार्टी के जो शीर्ष नेता हैं उनकी बैठक अभी हमने घर पे बुलाई है और उस बैठक के बाद हम आगे की रणनीति घोषित करेंगे।
सर, सुबह 10 बजे को भी लेकर कोई प्लानिंग तैयार की गई है?
अभी ये सारे कल पूरे देश भर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यालय पर दिल्ली में भी इस तानाशाही के खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे दिल्ली के और देश के लोग।
So that's Gopal Rai. There is now a high-level meeting of whatever is remaining of the Aam Aadmi Party's leadership at Gopal Rai's residence to chart out or execute. Because more than chart out, it was already charted out where there were indications that Arvind Kejriwal will go to jail. So to execute what was planned, they are going to strategize at Gopal Rai's residence, and from there on, viewers, what you can expect in the next 24 hours is a bombardment of sorts in protest where the cadre comes into question. Arvind Kejriwal, where the India Alliance is concerned, is now going to go to town saying the second sitting chief minister in less than a month and a half, arrested by the Enforcement Directorate less than a month before, or just about a month before India goes into election. Will it galvanize the India Alliance? Well, that remains to be seen with what we saw today in terms from the top echelons of the Congress, be it Mr. Kharge, be it Rahul Gandhi, be it Priyanka Gandhi, be it where the TMC comes into question, Mamata Banerjee, even a Pinarayi Vijayan of the left, or the entire gamut of what makes the India Alliance has come out, openly supported Arvind Kejriwal. You had a Congress unit which actually went to the residence of Arvind Kejriwal in solidarity. Will it be that moment where, the India Alliance will band together, or will it somewhere down the line, especially where the Aam Aadmi Party's Lok Sabha cause or push is concerned, disintegrated? The Aam Aadmi Party is fighting 7 seats where Delhi is concerned. It's fighting 13 seats where Punjab is concerned. It's fighting a seat in Haryana. It's fighting a seat in Gujarat. In terms of strategizing, there is somebody like Sandeep Pathak who steps in. But who will be the vote catcher for the Aam Aadmi Party? The Aam Aadmi Party is not used to what it is suddenly now being faced with. Was it ready? You can always know that it's coming, but the party wasn't quite ready for this. What happens now remains to be seen, whether they'll be able to keep their flock together and who or which leader is that takes the lead in all of this. Amit Bhardwaj is back with us. Amit, a high-level meet right now because the planning has already been done. There have been multiple dry runs of what to do if Arvind Kejriwal is jailed. And now that planning needs to be executed, Amit.
Right, Preeti, you and I know as to what kind of meticulous planning has been done by the Aam Aadmi Party senior leadership, not only in the national capital, but also in Punjab. But the question is, it's all well and fine till the time you are planning. What happens to the execution part? Because even during Manish Sisodia's arrest, we had seen that the biggest of protests had happened outside the national capital. Punjab had shown a real show of strength. Chandigarh had massive protests. Even Mumbai and Karnataka had massive protests. These protests were bigger than the one staged in the national capital. And in Delhi, the protest happened to be more symbolic. So whether the Aam Aadmi Party will actually be able to show its strength, number one. Number two, as to what what is the coordination between the India bloc parties, because this is, remember, not the first chief minister from the opposition a bloc to get arrested. First, Hemant Soren arrested while he was serving chief minister. He went to the Raj Bhavan, resigned, and after that he was taken away by the ED. And now a serving chief minister of the national capital will be behind bars.
All right. Amit, stay on with us. What I'm going to do is we're going to dip into reactions that are coming in, and then I'll cut across to Aishwarya, where what is now the plan of BJP to counter what possibly the India Alliance would hope to get out of this, a small sympathy wave for Arvind Kejriwal. Let's listen into the reactions first.
हम इतना ही कहना चाहेंगे, कानून को अपना काम करने दिया जाए। और कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं कि वो जेल से ही सरकार चलाएंगे, तो ये भी हम कमाल की नई बात सुन रहे हैं। देखा जाएगा, लेकिन ये शुद्ध भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ कार्रवाई है, जिस कार्रवाई में भाग लेने से केजरीवाल जी हमेशा भागते रहे।
आतिशी जी कह रही हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल एक व्यक्ति नहीं है, वो एक आइडिया है। Then I should say he is a bad idea. अरविंद केजरीवाल एक बैड आइडिया है। The idea of corruption, the idea of minting money through I would say, through excise policy. I mean, this is unheard of. A CM who talks about education. मनीष सिसोदिया इनके एजुकेशन मंत्री थे, शिक्षा मंत्री थे। आपने विश्व में कहीं सुना है शिक्षा मंत्री शराब के घोटाले से पैसा बना रहा है? जो सीएम कहता है कि हम तो चांद में भी स्कूल खोल देंगे, वो शराब के पैसे से पैसे बना करके शराब के ठेकेदारों से, शराब के बड़े बड़े माफियों से, डॉन से पैसे की उगाही करता है और करोड़ों करोड़ रुपयों का चंदा लेता है। क्या यह विषय आज दिल्ली से छुपा नहीं? तो स्वाभाविक रूप से अगर इस प्रकार की कार्यवाही, घोटाले किए जाएंगे तो कार्यवाही होना ये हिंदुस्तान के संविधान और हिंदुस्तान के कानून के दायरे में हो रहा है।
ये स्पष्ट हो गया है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल ही शराब घोटाले का किंगपिन है। अरविंद केजरीवाल के भ्रष्टाचार का घड़ा टूटा है। अरविंद केजरीवाल झूठा है और ये बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है कि दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट ने भी आज अरविंद केजरीवाल को कोई राहत नहीं दी, क्योंकि जो साक्ष्य जांच एजेंसी ईडी ने इकट्ठे किए थे उनमें दम था और अरविंद केजरीवाल ने अपने पैरों पे कुल्हाड़ी मारी जब 9 समन उन्हें दिए गए। पहला समन 2 नवंबर 2023 को दिया गया और अरविंद केजरीवाल को ये गुमा हो गया कि वो कानून से ऊपर है।
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को ईडी ने अरेस्ट किया। मैं आज देश के लोगों को, दिल्ली के लोगों को ये बताना चाहता हूं, आज केवल ये अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की गिरफ्तारी नहीं हुई, दिल्ली में भ्रष्टाचार का अंत हुआ है। दिल्ली के महाभ्रष्ट मुख्यमंत्री को उसके कुकर्मों की सजा मिल रही है। वो मुख्यमंत्री जो करप्शन करने वाले मनीष सिसोदिया को, सत्येंद्र जैन को, संजय सिंह को कभी भारत रत्न देने की बात करता था, जो कभी अपने आप को सबसे बड़ा अवार्ड लेने की बात करता था, जिसने गरीब के घर को लूटा, शराब तक के नाम पर पैसा लूटा, स्कूलों के नाम के कमरे बनाने के नाम पर लूटा, जिसने बस घोटाले के नाम पर लूटा, जिसने जल बोर्ड के घोटाले के नाम पर लूटा, जिसने बिजली के घोटाले के नाम पर दिल्ली को लूटा, 100 करोड़ के महल में रहने का काम करता था, उस आज बहुत बड़े पापी का अंत हुआ है। अंत में सच्चाई की जीत हुई है और अरविंद केजरीवाल गिरफ्तार हुए हैं। मैं दिल्ली के लोगों को आज ये बताना चाहता हूं, ये जीत आपकी है, ये करप्शन का अंत है, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की और मोदी जी की कमिटमेंट है कि ना खाने खाऊंगा, ना खाने दूंगा और खाने देने वालों को जेल में छोड़ के आऊंगा।
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के मामले में अंततः वही हुआ जो अपराध और भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में होता है। भ्रष्टाचारी अपराधी चाहे कितनी भी चालाकियां कर ले, वो कानून के शिकंजे में आता ही आता है। आखिरकार कानून के हाथ लंबे होते हैं और आज उन्होंने अपना काम किया है और पद चाहे कितना भी बड़ा किसी का हो, जो जनता का पैसा लूटेगा, जो जनता का खजाना लूटेगा, उसके साथ ऐसा ही हश्र होना चाहिए। आज एक बार फिर से दिल्ली की जनता कह रही है।
You know, I'm going to cut across right now to Aishwarya, who covers the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. She's joining us right outside the Enforcement Directorate as well. Aishwarya, you know, the physical part of it, of the protest separate, because the Aam Aadmi Party is going to go protest outside the BJP headquarters. On the other hand, is the BJP now strategizing that if there is at all a sympathy wave for Arvind Kejriwal in favor of the India alliance, how will it counter it?
Well, definitely, Preeti, that is something that is on the minds of top Bharatiya Janata Party leaders at the moment. But also on the other side, the BJP has been maintaining that this is something which is a routine thing. In fact, Ravi Shankar Prasad today spoke about the fact that Congress Party is saying that they have been given notices because they did not pay the income tax return. So this is something which is routine and the agency is only doing its work. So, you know, from what I understand at the moment, this is the exact same line that the BJP will be taking with regards to Aam Aadmi Party and the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. We have seen how earlier they have been saying that you cannot pin the blame on our party because it is you who is now indulging in corruption. Obviously, they'll be speaking those things, but they will also be working on a plan B, that just in case there is a sympathy wave for Arvind Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party, and by extension, the India alliance, then that's also something that the BJP will now be very actively working on. Preeti.
Right, I want to cut across and get in Amit as well into this conversation. Amit, you know, the fact to say that there is a plan of action and the Aam Aadmi Party is now in execution mode is easy. On the other hand, there is an election to fight. You have 7 seats in Delhi, 13 in Punjab, 1 each in Gujarat and Haryana. The face of Aam Aadmi Party, the vote catcher of Aam Aadmi Party, the key strategist, troubleshooter, call it what you may, of Aam Aadmi Party has been Arvind Kejriwal. What's the strategy now of the Aam Aadmi Party to counter the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal in this? Can you hear me, Amit? All right. I don't think I'm...
Yes, Preeti, yes. You know, I'm standing outside ED office where Arvind Kejriwal is inside. You know, the ED officials questioned him for 2 to 3 hours. After that, he has been brought here. The medical examination will be done. But coming back to your question, you know, what is the plan B of Aam Aadmi Party? Well, Aam Aadmi Party had anticipated this the day the first summon of the Enforcement Directorate was served to Arvind Kejriwal in the excise policy case. And that first summon had come as a shock for the Aam Aadmi Party, for Arvind Kejriwal. But after that, a special session of the Delhi Assembly was called. And from that very day, planning of this day had started. The day when Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal could be arrested. A few vehicles are leaving ED office. These are vehicles which are leaving ED office. So regular, you know, vehicles of the officials of the ED leaving the Enforcement Directorate office after Arvind Kejriwal's arrest has been executed. So coming back to that point, so the preparation has been laid down in the past few months. It's a 3-pronged approach that Aam Aadmi Party will be taking henceforth from tomorrow morning. Protest not only in the national capital, in Punjab, in Chandigarh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, all that will be seen, and especially in the states and constituencies where Aam Aadmi Party is contesting polls, you will see a huge, massive protest by the AAP cadre, the maximum show of strength that is possible, and maybe the the strongest hit will be seen in Punjab and Chandigarh. Second part is that convincing India bloc leaders to come together and criticize the Bharatiya Janata Party over the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. The tweets are already coming, but something more concrete could be planned on persuasion of Aam Aadmi Party. We already see something happening on that front. Along with that, what happens to the campaign? You know, why I'm going to campaign? Because as far as Delhi government is concerned, it's the formula is pretty clear. Arvind Kejriwal is going to remain Chief Minister of the national capital, is not stepping down, because the party leaders had said it very clear.
Okay.
Vote Arvind
All right,
Kejriwal.
Amit, stay with me. Let's quickly dip into Aam Aadmi Party reaction, then we'll cut across to Shreya.
ऐसी खबर आ रही है कि ईडी ने अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को अरेस्ट कर लिया है। ये बिल्कुल साफ था, जितनी भारी संख्या में पुलिस आई थी, जितनी भारी संख्या में पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस यहाँ पे स्टेशन थे, कि आज ईडी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को अरेस्ट करने के लिए आ रही है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री थे, दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री हैं और दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री रहेंगे। हमने शुरू से स्पष्ट किया है कि अगर जरूरत पड़ेगी तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी जेल से सरकार चलाएंगे। कोई भी ऐसा कानून नहीं है जो उन्हें जेल से सरकार चलाने से प्रोहिबिट करता है।
ये लोकतंत्र की हत्या है और इस देश के अंदर तानाशाही की घोषणा है। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार किया जा सकता है तो इस देश के अंदर हर बच्चे को गिरफ्तार किया जा सकता है, उसकी आवाज को दबाया जा सकता है। इसलिए साथियों, आज से लड़ाई शुरू हुई है। अरविंद केजरीवाल एक व्यक्ति नहीं, अरविंद केजरीवाल एक विचार है। देश के अंदर जब से इंडिया गठबंधन बना है, भाजपा को ये लगता है 400 पार नहीं 40 पर भाजपा सिमटने जा रही है देश के अंदर, और इसलिए उन्होंने तय किया है एक एक करके हर विपक्ष के नेता को गिरफ्तार करो। लेकिन आज हद पार हुई है।
दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री के घर को घेर लिया।
All reactions coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party. News break coming in. The team of doctors has reached the ED headquarters. So it seems the medical will be done tonight itself. Shreya Chatterjee bringing you on this. What's the course of action? The medical will be done tonight itself at the ED headquarters. Give us the entire protocol till he's produced tomorrow at the PMLA court.
Preeti, what we will right now see is the procedural things that are left from the ED's part. There will be a medical that will be conducted for the Delhi Chief Minister. This is procedural before producing him before the court. Tomorrow he will be produced in the PMLA court. The only clarity we are yet to get in that whether that production will be happening in physical or through video conferencing, given his position. He is still the sitting Chief Minister of the national capital. Probably for security reasons, we might just see that he is produced via video conferencing tomorrow, but that will take place in all likelihood post 11 a.m. tomorrow. For the night, he will be at the ED headquarters. His medical will also be conducted inside the ED headquarters. Till the time he's produced, he's probably also going to face some more questioning from the team of officials from the Enforcement Directorate. As we already have been reporting, that multiple electronic devices have been seized by the ED, and that also includes some documents that they have seized during the raids that were conducted. This was the 10th summon that the ED team physically gave him. There were the officials from the ranks of joint directors who were present over there, questioned him, and subsequently he was put under arrest, from where he's now inside the Enforcement Directorate headquarters.
All right, he's inside the Enforcement Directorate headquarters. Shreya, what we can expect now tomorrow, of course, his legal team was not entertained tonight by the top court, where it challenged the arrest by the Enforcement Directorate. That petition, in all probability, to be heard tomorrow. And of what we've seen, just to compare precedent, it will go on the lines of possibly a Manish Sisodia or a Sanjay Singh or even a Hemant Soren.
Well, absolutely, Preeti. In all likelihood, we would similarly see what the Enforcement Directorate had put forth in the court when Hemant Soren had also challenged the ED's arrest. We will similarly see the same thing proceeding. In all likelihood, the Enforcement Directorate would try to say that because the Arvind Kejriwal has been skipping summons, 9 summons he's skipped in the liquor policy scam and 1 in the Delhi Jal Board scam, that will be a precedent. In all probability, based on today's questioning, the responses that Arvind Kejriwal has given, the ED may go ahead to suggest that there was a non-cooperation from the side of the sitting Chief Minister. And remember, this also comes at a time while we are seeing that K. Kavita was arrested. Then subsequently on last Monday, the Enforcement Directorate comes with a press statement suggesting that they have evidence that directly links K. Kavita to Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia for having hatched a conspiracy to get kickbacks to the Aam Aadmi Party in return of giving some kind of favors in the formulation of the liquor policy. So we do understand that that one precedent will also be given since K. Kavita has been arrested. The Enforcement Directorate might just...
All right, okay, Shreya, we're going to come right back to you. Shreya Chatterjee outside the ED office, Amit Bhardwaj getting us the Aam Aadmi Party point of view. You have Aishwarya, who's getting us what the BJP is thinking. All of that continue to put the spotlight on the latest coming in. Arvind Kejriwal is arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, will spend the night at the ED office today before he's produced in front of the PMLA Rouse Avenue court tomorrow.